Hello everybody, welcome to another Transformers Masterpiece review. Thanks to the team over at Indemandtoys. We have the latest offering from Takara Tomy as part of their Masterpiece line. It's the MP-57 Cybertron Aviation Defense Skyfire, aka Jetfire. Absolutely ginormous box, by far the biggest Masterpiece box we have had to date. And this is why. Look at all of this. I do have Phoenix to compare them to. I've been very much looking forward to this though. There was something just not quite there with Phoenix. It's a fantastic Jetfire by all means, but it wasn't quite as cartoon accurate as I would have liked. And I think this ticks all of those boxes. Accessory wise, we get various different faceplates. We get the Decepticon insignia, which we can switch out. We get his rifle, some blast effects, some stands. We get the faceplates, including the Robotech / Macross style face sculpt, as well as 3 very itty bitty tiny Autobots which can interact with the Jetfire when he is in his jet form and kind of in his Macross style vehicle as well. This thing is beautiful. And we have Skyfire out of his plastic prison. Just as he comes out of the package, just unfold his wings and bring these sections up. Taking a look at the accessories first, we get the double display stand, pretty much like you would expect. It's very kind of a tangerine orange, what you would get with the Beast Wars figures as well. Very, very similar. They all interact with one another. You get the flight stand attachment that just pegs in there. You get these jet thrusters, which can be placed at the back of his jets. We get the alternative chest plates. We get a Decepticon insignia, and then we get the blank undecided, which can be switched out. We get the alternative head sculpts. Very kind of pursed lips there, but he does look happy. There we go. Far more kind of serious, solemn head sculpt. And then we get that kind of Macross Robotech style one, which will sit over those faces. We get a tiny version of a Wheeljack, fully articulated, mind, albeit the joints are very, very loose. That reminds me, actually, aren't we due an updated kind of version of Wheeljack? So I know that we're getting all of this kind of toon accuracy. That is a very small version, and he's got his hands full there. We get Meister or Jazz. Really, really nice little figures. Again, nicely articulated. And then we get Prime as well. So obviously these are all designed to scale with this wonderful vehicle mode. So we can have the likes of Wheeljack sit in that front cockpit piece, and then the Prime can then just be kind of tucked away inside here. We've also got these excellent little side pod sections where our bots can get on and off of SKYFIRE. I mean, they look pretty decent alongside the little nanobots, don't they? That works. To give you an idea of scale comparison, I brought in poor old Junker Skywarp. He is still floating around in my Junker box, but he is the MP scale. So that's actually not that bad, is it? You know, considering the size of the pilot's cabs that we have here. Obviously Jazz is going to be much bigger than a human, but you know, that's actually a fairly decent looking scale. And another obvious comparison would be Indemandtoys version. It's not actually that much in it in total distance and length. It's the heft. There's so much more heft to the Indemandtoys version, and we've got that really kind of vibrant red, very similar to what we got with the Macross line. Obviously much smaller insignia, but this is, in my opinion, closer to what we got with the animation. And yes, I am aware that I'm missing one of my fins. This is displayed quite high up in the cabinet and it's at the back, so I just couldn't quite reach it, but nonetheless doesn't take away from what we've actually got in terms of our Jetfires or SKYFIREs. I mean, these are both very, very similar. Indemandtoys definitely stands a little bit taller, but at the same time, I think I prefer the Takara. Indemandtoys has definitely got that kind of Macross vibe. If there was an upgrade kit, which is an add-on kit for that to make him into a Jetfire, kind of that Macross Robotech, I would buy it in a heartbeat, because that would really kind of differentiate these two figures. And because we don't very often get a chance to see on the underside of the characters, this is how they fare up as well. Both very clean. Obviously you can tell where the legs are. I have an issue with my Phoenix, that this leg will not peg in vehicle mode. The peg's there, it's going into the groove, but it will not hold. I've wiggled and jiggled, but it won't go in. But it gives you an idea, especially kind of length and height, of what we're dealing with, and the undersides are both pretty darn clean. Now, as you can see from the underbody shot, I've got his weapon stored underneath, but there's also storage options underneath here as well. So we're going to lift this panel up, and that gives us access to everything underneath here. Now we've got space to store the faces and both of those chest plates, and we even get the option of folding this hinge backwards like so, and with this section up, this can fold down in between, pushing and squaring off this section here, emulating that kind of Macross Jetfire look to our jet mode. Now let's get our awesome little pilots out, and Prime can come out as well. Going to come to the underside. I'm going to bring these pieces back in, and we're going to put the landing gear away. Again on this side, put the landing gear back. There is die cast in the landing gear, as you would expect, and the weapon is going to slide out between this crotch like so, and then the handle for Jetfire or SKYFIRE to hold will just slide down like so. And of course you can use your blast effects with the gun, as well as with these tail and thrusters like this. But I'm not sure how many of you are going to keep Jetfire in this mode. I mean, it's nice to have the option, and it's nice for him to come packaged in this mode, because more often than not our bots are packaged in their robot form. But this was a nice refreshing change, but it may be the one and only time that you actually transform your Jetfires. So let's start as if he was fresh out of that plastic prison. By closing all of these pieces off and locking all this off. Right, now we're now back to his default look, ready for transformation. Right, now to get him transformed up, we're going to start by dropping down both of these leg panels. This section comes down. This is going to fully extend all the way up inside that sliding hinge, and that's going to come in, push, and he says should lock and secure into position. The foot area drops down and the heel section's going to extend. These side tab pieces here are going to lift and untab from here and come up to the side. Now you've got this section here with the arm on. The leg panel is going to slide, which allows this to have enough room now to slide out from within that hinge piece. So much going on inside there, isn't there? But it's very refreshing. And with those arms freed, you can tab this piece back in, and this rear piece here is on that sliding hinge, so you want to just line it all up, make sure everything's tabbed in accordingly, and then that's going to slide and secure like so. So we're left with something that looks like this. These are going to come down. This top piece here is just tabbed in here. This comes away like so, and I've got the protective layer still on my SKYFIRE head. This is going to come back, and that's going to sit. So this is straight, and then this here is going to slide on this sliding hinge, so that this basically goes along this track here. And with this panel here, this is going to slide in here. This is then going to come over and down, and if you look, there is a tab here that's going to marry up with the tab on the back of that crotch piece, and that just pushes, locks and secures into place. So we're left with something that currently looks like that. This panel here is going to slide, come on, and slide all the way out like so. This is then going to lift up, and that's going to line up and tab in on that panel there. There we go. Come down to these arms. This is going to slide along, and then once that's slid along, that can be pushed, connected, and popped and tabbed in under here. There we go, securing that into position. And you want to do that for both sides. You can open up these arms. Hands are going to come up, they're going to rotate and come down. This is then going to close off. Arms can then rotate at the bicep. This can be pushed back, and that's going to form part of that elbow. These panels are going to slide back up like we did when we freed up those wing pieces. That's going to slide up, that slides up. These are going to open and open, which frees up this section here, and that's going to fold down. So much like we did earlier on, this section here folds in under, and it just bypasses these clips, so it sits on the back piece like so. And then from here, this whole backpack piece is going to slide up on a hinge on the back here, sliding this all the way out. And from here, these are then going to slide, compress, and tab in, as you would expect. That's nice, that goes in there nicely. This is then going to duck down and push, tab, and secure. This section here is then going to slide up as well, covering off the bottom end, and then these thrusters slide in slightly as well. God, it really does tidy up. We then fold these wings in on themselves, they slide backwards. There we go, that's all tabbed up nicely. Everything's as it should be. And there we have him fully transformed up into his bot mode. That's actually relatively clean. Not a huge fan of how the arms kind of slide out those extra panels. It doesn't really tab in and secure as nicely as I'd like at his back there, but man, does he look good. That is a sensational take on SKYFIRE. Here he is alongside a couple of different variations of MP Prime. To give you an idea of that scale, I actually think he's probably a little tiny bit too short. I think there's not really much in it, but the animation is all over the place, so you can't really go by that. But obviously we have a variation of MP-44 and we have TE-01. Here he is alongside some third-party and official released MP Autobots, as well as how he looks alongside two different variations of a masterpiece Starscream. We've got the official version, what are they, 3 now, Starscream, albeit this is kind of the Lightning Eagle version of that, and the Crimson Wing over on the other side there. They all look really good together. They've all got that really nice animation vibe, so he definitely doesn't look out of place. And of course we can't forget Phoenix, done his robot mode now. He does stand taller, but he's not as show accurate, is he? If we bring in both of the primes as well, so we've got different looks. I love Phoenix. Phoenix is such a good figure, but I don't know, Takara just does tick all of those animation accuracy boxes. I mean, sometimes, is it always a good thing that it's super animation accurate? I mean, I love how this looks, but I know a lot of people don't, and they want to go for that kind of slightly stylized look, and Phoenix definitely pulls that off. And don't forget, we're getting a third option as well. There's the oversized version of Siege SKYFIRE as well, which is coming out. That's a KO, and that's meant to be the same size as Phoenix, so that could really kind of stick itself in the mix there, because that could be a very affordable option. No, it won't be anywhere near as accurate as either of these two, in my opinion, but we would get that kind of Macross style armor with it. And I personally, in my Masterpiece collection, I have that Siege kind of line version of Skylynx flying above my combiners and my Dinobots, and he doesn't look out of place at all. If you put scale to one side, then that could definitely work as well, but I don't know. I really should only keep one, but I'm really on the fence which one to keep. Something that does set Phoenix aside from the Takara version are his nice strong joints and the ability to move them where you want to. That's something I'm having a problem with on this Takara version. Let me show you. Now, I mean, looks wise, he looks great, doesn't he? He's got hidden little details there, like you got his brainwaves going across there. Obviously, I've got everything stored in this back piece. We can just bring that up. Let's bring in the kind of serious face, and let's also bring in that Robotech style plate as well. I won't switch out the chest cover, but I will show you how we switch those out. So slide that one back in and push and tab that shut. Head can look up. Face is going to just detach like so. We can bring in that stern kind of worried look, and the Macross face is as simple as sliding that over like that. Nice and easy, magnetic, slides on, holds on, and does exactly what it needs to. Is it perfect? No, not at all, but does it do the job? Yes. Right, so the head, and look up and down. We can go left and right, quizzically tilt side to side. Nice neck joint there, really nice neck joint. So we can actually look up, and not that he's got many people to look up to. Shoulders, come out and untab. We've got rotation there. Got this separate rotation joint. There's a bicep rotation, nice bend all the way up there. I like how that kind of goes in and disappears into the arm. It's a really nice touch, very articulated hands. Nicely articulated fingers, probably the most articulated we've had from a Takara MP. The waist unfortunately doesn't rotate in there. We do have these hip skirts that come out to the side though, and we do have legs that come this far forwards, this far back. They come out to the side like so, and we've got nice bends on the knee, and we've got this ability to slide the knee pad up and down, so we can get those kind of Macross style legs when he's in his girl walk mode. They just sit like so. But the issue I have with these legs is how they actually stand. There is no kind of in between. You really want it kind of here and here. That's as natural as his stance is going to get. He always kind of steps forward slightly. I don't know if it's because these are very kind of Robotech-esque, But yeah, unfortunately that's kind of how his legs need to go. They are definitely the weakest point of this entire figure, in my opinion. Now we've got some up and down on those feet. I would like die casting these feet as well. We're so spoilt with getting all the die cast that we get in the third party figures, I guess. I just kind of come to expect it in the official as well. We've got some ankle pivot on there, but no left and right motion. You just have to use the left and right, which is available at that thigh. So that kind of wider stance that he's got going on there, that's actually probably his most natural of stances, which is neither a good nor a bad thing. It's just nowhere near as agile as what we get with Phoenix. Now, switching this out again, like I said, very easy to do, just slides off. So it's up to you whether he's an Autobot, a Decepticon, or kind of non-allegical. But he can pull off some decent poses, and there are other little funky features, like you can pull this section down here. This piece here comes down, and there's a tab here which allows you to plug the gun in up the top here, so that can be next to the head. Okay, not something I personally like, but it's an option. And as per the instructions, we do also have full Gerwalk mode. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, then the instructions are very straightforward when it comes to doing so, but that's not part of the journey I personally want to take you on. For now, I just want to enjoy SKYFIRE in his bot mode, and I need to sit down and really have a good think, weighing up the pros and cons and seeing which of these two behemoth Autobots I want to keep as my masterpiece, SKYFIRE. Thank you all for taking the time out of your busy lives to watch my content. Until next time, for myself and the rest of the Collectibles household, goodbye.